All right, now, with Magistrate Lawrence's orders back on the 9th of February 23, quote, the informant is to provide all notes and other documents produced by police officers and PSOs, including internal and external communication by 4 p.m. on the 28th of February 2023 in relation to proceedings and proceeding number. All right? Yeah. There's been redacted material provided. Okay?
Yes.
The order doesn't say, for instance, subject to redaction. Not for instance, the order just simply doesn't say subject to redaction, right? It's come to Mr. Cooksall in a heavily redacted form, and as the parties are aware, I have sought and received the unredacted version.
Yes.
I am staggered at some of the redactions. For instance, and I don't think that this is going to be the part of a claim of public interest immunity somehow, there is redacted, and Mr. Cooksall, you can follow this with the open affidavit.
Thank you, Your Honour.
If we go to page 508 of the materials, as an example, this is the open affidavit. We have official sensitive. See that? And then below it, it's redacted. I know there's been a change of counsel, so don't please take this as any way. No.
Page 508 of...
508 of the open affidavit, of the notes, on the open affidavit. If you go and look at the notes, page 508 of the notes. Yep, got that?
And then the redaction under it, is that what Your Honour's talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
There's absolutely no basis to redact that.
Well, Your Honour, my instructions, if I can indicate, I got this brief.
Yeah, I
I
know.
sought new instructions.
Yeah. I know that you're not counsel was previously involved, right?
And it was gone through each and every page to seek new instructions.
Yeah.
The instruction in relation to what Your Honour's looking at is relevance. And I sought
but
new
that's not the point, to redact parts of the document, okay? It is as if whoever was doing it decided it would be a good idea to create as much trouble for everyone as they possibly could, okay? I spent 2 hours going through the documents to work out where there was proper redactions. Email footers is not proper redactions, okay? It just creates the impression for Mr. Cooksall and myself that there is material there that may be of some relevance. And then, quite rightly, Mr. Cooksall says, look, there's been an incredible amount of redaction, thinking that there's material there that might be significant. And there is material that's redacted that's significant, along with all this irrelevant material. So...
I take your point on those, Your Honour. I sought instructions and that's what was instructed.
Yeah, all right, well...
On all of the ones that are like that. There are a number of documents that are of that ilk.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Because the order was not... The order on its face is to produce those documents, right? So unless they're the subject... Okay, produced by, including communication, blah, 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 in relation to the proceedings, right? Nothing about, as you might decide, what is and isn't relevant. Okay, not you, VGSO. Unless there's a claim for public interest immunity or some sort of confidentiality claim like phone numbers and the like, and I've got no issue with that, there has to be a proper basis for redaction. It isn't simply a matter for the informant or VGSO to decide, oh, we think that's relevant, oh, we think that's not relevant. Okay? I find it quite simply mind-boggling that after everything that's happened with the Royal Commission, VGSO thinks it's a good idea to simply redact as much of the material as it possibly can. It would seem for the sake of it. So let me go through, and I'm going to rule unless on this material, unless you wish to make submissions. I'm going to give you the opportunity, of course. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
Cooksal's aware of what I'm looking at. It's a matter of my own preparation rather than
Yep, no, that's okay.
a matter that's...
That's okay. It's an absolute waste of time for no good reason whatsoever.
I'm happy to go through page by page.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's
redactions page by page myself.
Let's put them into categories, right? Let's have the.
Do you mind if, Your Honour, if I sit down, given I'm trying
No,
to
sit down,
laptop?
please. Yep, sit down. All right. Okay. Now, I should probably start at the start, actually, rather than getting all excited about it. I think the first of the redactions going on the open affidavit, so Mr Cooksall can follow, is page 14. All right. So I rule that page 14 on the open affidavit can be redacted. Page 16, it's an unrelated matter not related to Mr Cooksall. And so I rule that can be redacted. Page 30 is an unrelated matter not related in any way to Mr Cooksall, and I rule that can be redacted. Right. In my view, page 35 should not be redacted, and I am extremely surprised it has been redacted, nor should page 36, but I'll leave it to VGSO to consider that and make submissions if they wish.
May I know what the...
At this stage, not, but it might well be, Mr Cooksall, that I'm just basically at the moment going through all the material that I think is like so ridiculous that it should just simply never have been redacted, and sifting the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. Okay. All right. Page 41 to 43, in my view, should be redacted.
Is that also...
That relates... I think it's obvious from the document, Mr Cooksall, that it relates to you, so you might want to make submissions to me in relation to it, all right?
What's the basis of the redaction, Your Honour?
The basis of the redaction is it doesn't relate to the case, because that's the order. But I'll let you make submissions to me, all right? I just want to clear the...
After 43, we go to 93?
Yep, we'll go to 93. Okay, so... Again, this is something I don't think should be redacted.
What is it, Your Honour?
Well, at the moment I don't have my... I need to go get my... I didn't put it down onto the... So what I might do... So what I might do... So I'm going to have to go off the bench, and I've just realised I've was working off the iPad with the open affidavit and the unredacted, but I haven't put the unredacted onto the iPad. I've got it on the computer in Chambers. So, but
And Your Honour, I can see 47, 48, 49 are redacted.
yeah, I'll let you address me in a moment, Mr. Cook. So I'm just trying to slog through this. Okay. In fact, what I'll do is this. I'm going to indicate to the VGSO, and what I would like is a concession, but I think I've ruled on it anyway.
I'm happy to take instructions on the matters, Your Honour.
Yeah, well, if the
Redacted, and then we might not have a debate.
the VGSO want to tell me how important it is to redact email footers, then someone can make a submission to the incredible public interest that. And can I note this? Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. So it's not even consistent throughout the document. Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. So, email footers to the point that I can see, and they should just go because simply for the reason that then Mr. Cooksall can see what is actually there and that it is not relevant. Because it is unfair to an accused person to create an impression that there might be something that is relevant. Or might bear on them when it's actually nothing. And can I say, with deliberate sarcasm, it was good to see that the blank pages stopped being unredacted. But anyway, page 411, email footer. Page 400, all right, you might want to write this down. 411, email footer. 412, email footer. 414, email footer. 420, email footer. 473 to 476, email footer. 479, email footer. 482 to 483, email footer. 485, email footer. 486, email footer. 487, email footer. 488, email footer. Page 489, email footer. And 508, email footer. So they should all be checked, and what I would like is the position of the VGSO in relation to that. I hope that there's also been a reconsideration in relation to some of the matters that are said simply that they should be redacted because of relevance as to whether there's actually a PII claim. Can I say that as well, having looked at
I'll
something?
take the point, Your Honour. I'll seek instructions again. I sought instructions on whether some should be a PII claim, and I'll seek new instructions
Yeah,
reiterating that
yeah,
information.
yeah. All right. Okay, I'll be back in about 10
Silence all
minutes.
stand, please. Sixth Division of the Melbourne Magistrate.
Someone else is trying to contact him. He is presenting the cause.
It's presenting a cause.
Yes, we're trying to find out where he is. And
What,
the other
to-
person
to-
who's given
to-
advice is not available or not on leave.
To get a concession as to... Well, I'll just go going, I'll just rule.
I haven't got instructions yet. The person I spoke to had no knowledge of this matter at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the person who has knowledge of the matter to be contacted on the specific issues.
Of what, the email footage? All right, well,
May I?
yes, Mr. Cooksall, but I think you'll just impede things because I'm about to just rule that you can have those documents and we'll keep going.
Thank you. I simply wanted to point out that I have authority which points out that the police should not be making the claim by themselves, and it's really the responsibility of the either the VGSO or the OPP.
Right. As I understand it, VGSO looked at it, although it would appear without the dose of common sense that one would hope would be applied to matters like this. Anyway, I might be wrong. Maybe there was a great amount of common sense in redacting email footage. All right, so in relation to the redaction of the various email footers, and for the avoidance of doubt, referring to the redactions at pages 411, 412, 414, 420, 473 to 476, 479, 482, to 483, 485, 486, 487, 488, and 489 and 508, a rule that there is no proper basis whatsoever for the redaction of parts of the document which are otherwise relevant and have been produced, certainly not on the basis that those parts simply contain email footers. I find it utterly ridiculous. So that's my ruling in relation to those parts. All right, now I also rule in relation to pages 14, 16, 30. Having looked at those unredacted versions, they're completely unrelated and their redactions are appropriate. All right, so turning now to page 35.
I'd like to seek further instructions in relation to those.
Yeah, it seems my preliminary view is that I have absolutely no idea why that would be redacted. It seems to fall clearly within the purview of the order of Magistrate Lawrence. All right, pages 35 to 36, VGSO to take instructions. Preliminary.
Is this still relevant, Your Honour?
Seems to be. All right. Pages 41 to 44, they relate to other matters involving Mr. Cooksall. Mr. Cooksall can make submissions in relation to that with me at a later time. As in today, because there'll be other matters that fall within that. All right. That then gets us to page 93.
Also 47, 48, 49.
Yeah. 47 to 49, no issue with the redaction of. Well, why should they be redacted? What proper basis is there to redact identifying numbers from the document? It's a document that clearly falls within the purview of Magistrate Lawrence's ruling. Is that PII claimed?
Are you looking at page 46?
Yeah, 46, 47, 48, 49.
Not my instructions. The instructions are their internal police numbers and they're not relevant.
Well, I'm against you. They relate to. The order has not been to produce such of the material that the VGSO considers to be relevant. The order, and we'll go back to it, is to produce all notes and other documents produced by police officers and PSOs, including internal and external communication in relation to the proceedings. Clearly, this is a leak report in relation to the incident. So what proper basis is there to get rid of the numbers that identify the report and may be able to assist following through in the materials? Again, I find it incredible that this attitude's taken after the Royal Commission. But anyway, so VGSO wants to waste everyone's time like this, then we'll do it. In relation to pages 46 to 50, I rule that it shouldn't be redacted. You're taking notes, Mr. Cooksall?
Yes, Your Honour, I am. Thank you.
I'm not, yeah. I'm just wanting you to so you can... All right. Now...
Page 51 is the attendance summary.
Yep. The same argument, is it?
The numbers are redacted, yes.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm against you in relation to that. There'll be no redaction in relation to that. Seems to be that there's belief that there should be some sort of culture of secrecy involved with investigations and the like, just for the sake of it. Unfortunately, that sort of culture of secrecy has led to serious miscarriages of justice. All right, now we go to page 93. All right, the entire page is blanked out. I'll go to the unredacted. What proper basis is there for this not to be provided?
Not like the Your Honour, my redaction is just not done quickly.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't want to hear it's an internal Victoria Police document, because that's the order of Magistrate Lawrence.
I might need to get an instruction on that, Your Honour. It might be a different objection that hasn't been made yet.
Right, so that's... That's 93, page 93, VGSO to get instructions. Okay. Okay, what would be the basis in relation to the redaction of page 101?
The black redaction,
Yeah, at the top of the page. Having look at the unredacted version.
I am, Your Honour.
Yeah. What's the basis? People are entitled to know about document numbers and the like and incident numbers so that they can follow what document is relevant to what. Again, this is just culture of secrecy type redaction. I know these are your instructions, but that doesn't answer the issue. They're all internal police documents. There's nothing magic about saying they're internal police documents. The entire investigation's a Victorian police investigation. What's the position?
So all of the numbers, my instructions were relevance.
Okay.
And I hear what Your Honour said,
Yep.
but the disclosure management unit or lawyers, they are providing me instructions as the client.
Yeah, I know, you're stuck with
I'm
your
stuck
instruction.
with those that
All right,
bring the
I rule it's not to be redacted. I rule on the basis is clearly relevant when it relates to the actual incident. Okay. What possible basis is there to redact page 103? Have a look at the unredacted version.
I've got notes on that, Your Honour. Yes. In your instruction, Your Honour, I can lift those save for personal numbers, which will be redacted, personal identifiers to be redacted pursuant to 186.
No personal identifiers.
The phone numbers, and
Sorry, page 103. Am I missing something?
I might be looking at the...
Page 103 of the documents.
That can be disclosed, Your Honour.
All right. To be disclosed by agreement. Page 103. $104. Well, what's the basis to disclose, to redact that?
An argument Your Honour is not going to accept that their administrative emails.
Sorry, an argument I'm not going to accept.
Their administrative emails are not relevant. That's the basis of all of the redactions between emails of this kind,
okay.
between police prosecutors and the informant.
All right, well, that's part of it all relates to the conduct of the investigation and prosecution. So they fall within the orders of Magistrate Lawrence. Unless there's a public interest immunity claim, then there doesn't seem to be any basis that they be excluded. So I'm going to order that be disclosed, page 104.
Your Honour, again, subject to the 186 personal email addresses and the
I don't think that...
number.
All right.
Both.
Yeah, okay. Order to be disclosed, the number, the officer's number can be redacted. All right. Page 105.
105 to 111 are out of office emails.
Well, there you go. You just disclosed them. You just waived it. So page 100, page 105 to 111 are, as has been disclosed, out of office emails. No basis that they be redacted. Because one of the issues is this, and the authorities say that it's not for the prosecution really to determine what is and isn't relevant. because they might not know what is and isn't relevant. One issue might be, for instance, an argument as to the conduct of the prosecution and whether it's been dilatory, whether statements have been obtained when they need to be obtained, etc. Now, all of that then covers, quote unquote, internal administrative communications within Victoria Police in relation to the matter, and they shouldn't be redacted. Whoever dealt with this in the first place needs to really look back over it. I'm not being critical of the informant. The reality is this: police officers are put in a position where they then rely upon VGSO, and if they're told that they should redact everything, they end up redacting everything. So pages 105 to 111, I rule to be disclosed, not to be redacted. Subject to 186, but again, not getting rid of names, because names are relevant. If, for instance, so-and-so had an email with such and such, might be highly relevant.
But the email address and the phone numbers.
The email address doesn't come up though.
Yes. Some of them do, Your Honour, some don't.
I've not seen any of these. Oh yeah, okay. Yep, all right. Yep.
Some do, some don't.
Yep, that's fair enough. All right, I'll subject to that ruling. What's the position in relation to page 112? Is there a claim of public interest immunity?
I haven't taken an instruction on that. If I can take a further instruction.
Yeah. All right, VGSO to take instructions. All right. 116 to 117. Again, what proper basis is there to redact these documents? They relate to this matter. They relate to the conduct of this matter. They also relate to material that is requested to be provided. Surely they're relevant and surely they shouldn't be redacted. It's an administrative document. It's internal to Victoria Police. I rule that it be disclosed. Page 116 to 117.
Subject to the 186, Your Honour.
Subject to 186. Everything will be subject to 186. Let me say this. Anything that I rule to be disclosed is subject to the 186 exception, but not related to names or positions within Victoria Police. I have Melbourne Prosecution Unit. That's not to be redacted. Simply their email or
personal email
mobile
addresses.
phone numbers.
Mobile phone numbers. Yes, Your Honour.
All right.
Next is 127 to 130.
Well, I've got 118 and 119. I think that was all part of that same tranche.
Yes,
Same.
I've got 116 to 119.
Yeah, all right. So 119, 116 to 119 is to be disclosed. All right. You've covered page 127 I've got.
So 127 to 134 in a bundle, 130 and 132 were lifted.
134 and okay. 127.
134. That's
Let me just see the unredacted version. Oh, I was looking at the unredacted version. Let me have a look. Again.
auto-generated emails.
So what? So what? Is there some... you're in a very difficult position because on my assessment you're bound by your instructions. so please in no way take this
I'm not,
personally.
Your Honour.
But the fact that there's an email generated automatically doesn't somehow render it irrelevant or should be redacted. So, for instance, an out-of-office email may reflect that the fact that, say, an informant was not available and wasn't conducting the investigation because they were away. There's nothing that magically means that that should be redacted. So all of the, actually we'll just go through. So 127, 129, 131, 133, and this is highly relevant because it relates to the CCTV footage. 127, 129, 131, 133 will all be unredacted. Okay. The redactions at page 135 I don't consider in any way to be relevant, so they can remain redacted.
135 to remain.
135 to 136.
Sorry.
Mr. Cooksall, you want to address me in relation to it?
Well, I don't know what they are, Your Honour.
I don't think there's any magic in it. They relate to the taking of fingerprints. I just don't see it's relevant in any way to anything.
But would they not be?
Relying on fingerprints in relation to Mr. Cooksall in relation to this case? No. So it's not relevant. I just don't see it in any way as relevant. I mean, it's not a question of just every single possible document being produced for the sake of it. All right? It has to have some potential relation to something. All right. It has to be common sense on both sides. All right, page 137. Again, why shouldn't that be produced?
Instructions I have is to maintain as the custody status isn't relevant to the case.
Yeah, but there was an interview conducted, was there not? Mr. Cooksall, there was an interview conducted.
Yes, Your Honour.
Yeah.
That was quite problematic.
Yeah. Well, the point is this. So footage the fact that there's been footage obtained in relation surrounding the interview, that might be the most relevant thing in a case there is. I mean, it's extraordinary. Anyway, all right. Again, it's not aimed at council, it's aimed at the VGSO. All right, rule that's to be unredacted. Okay. Page 138 and 139. Again, that relates to the conduct of the prosecution in relation to the matter. Is the objection maintained? All right, well, the rule against you is to be unredacted. Noting that there's no claim of public interest immunity. Just a general sort of claim, it seems. All right, pages 141, 142, 143, they're in the same boat. And there'll be order that they be unredacted. 145 and 146 to be unredacted.
Sorry, Your Honour, I have 141 to 143.
Yep, that 141 to 143 should be unredacted.
And then 145 to 140.
145 to 146 should be unredacted.
152 to 153, this doesn't relate to this accused.
I've got a note, it's not relevant, so that will remain redacted.
Sorry, which one, sorry?
Page 152 to 153 doesn't relate to you at all.
Okay.
So that's to remain redacted.
154 to 156, if I could obtain new updated instructions
Yep.
rather than the relevance ones
Yep.
for reasons Your Honour would.
Yep. Yeah, all right, I understand, and I've made a note about a possible PII claim. VGSO to get instructions.
158 to
Hang on,
1...
sorry. No, you're
Oh, I've missed one. 157.
Hang on, just making a little note. How is that not relevant?
157 too?
157. How is that not relevant? I've got a note. Who redacted this? Exclamation mark.
My instructions are relevant.
Relates to the incident. It's an email from the informant in relation to the incident. How can it not be relevant? Anyway, I'll say this today because otherwise it might seem it's a personal attack.
It's like, Your Honour,
it's
I've
not.
taken an instruction on each and every
Yeah.
redaction asking for clarification.
Yeah,
So I'm not taking it personally.
Yeah, good. All right. Page 157 is clearly within the orders of Magistrate Lawrence. It clearly should never have been redacted, and I order that it be disclosed, subject to anything, removal of any personal details. That does not include incident and sub-incident numbers. All right, 158 to 159. You want to get instructions in relation to that?
That has been sought. That's the document that was actually PII has been sought.
Oh, that's the PII.
That's the one that was sought.
I'm going on the basis of the unredacted version, but I can see on the redacted version it's in orange, whatever colour it was given. Yeah. And we'll get to that. All right, that's a different matter. Okay. Okay. All right.
But
What-
159
Yeah,
was
150.
partly read.
Yeah, 159 to 160. You wanting to get instructions on that?
158 and 159 PII is claimed. 160 I'd like to seek new instructions.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Also 159, only the first few. There's a part of 159 which is black.
Yeah, I know. That's second half of 159 to 160. I think that's what was meant. All right, instructions to be obtained. Okay, 162, I'm assuming you're going to maintain, well, I'll rephrase it, the VGSO maintain their objection.
It's black.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, Your Honour.
All related to the investigation and obtaining documents.
Yes.
It's clearly relevant to, falls within the orders of Magistrate Lawrence, and it's clearly potentially relevant. So I order that that be disclosed. Same with page 163. $164. All of these are subject to, of course, the redaction of personal, phone numbers, email addresses, etc. All right. 165, I couldn't make any sense of this.
Not to do with this matter.
Yep, all right. So page 165, I mean, even if it was, it doesn't actually say anything at all.
No, it's no content. It's
All right,
just
that's to be redacted. The basis doesn't relate to the matter. Well, hang on. I don't agree with you now looking at it. Look at the top part. Yeah, it's okay.
yes. Okay, so it's in relation to another matter.
Hang on. Another matter relating to Mr. Cooksall, it has
Yes.
to be. All right, Mr. Cooksall's going to no doubt want to address me in relation to that. You need to get instructions as to whether there's a PII claim if it relates to another matter.
I'll take instructions on it, Your Honour.
Yeah, all right. 166 to 167. Again, seems to relate specifically to this matter and conduct of the prosecution and various documents, or video actually, I should say.
Yes.
Indeed. So I'm going to order that be unredacted. (168), 169, same position. Order. Why should 171 be redacted?
Sorry, Your Honour, I missed that one.
Why should 171 be unredacted? Sorry, rephrase that. Why should it be redacted?
Yeah, I'll seek a new instruction on that, Your Honour.
All right. There doesn't seem to be any proper basis for 174 to be redacted. It seems to relate to this matter and the issuing of process, so that's to be unredacted. It's also the case in relation to page 175. anything relating to the issuing of charges, the decision to issue charges, the timing of the issuing of charges, etc. is all potentially relevant. Why should page 176 to 183 be redacted? It relates to this matter, does it not? Sorry, page 176 to 183. It's addressed to the informant, isn't it, in relation to this matter? Is it because it's an automatically generated email? And it's got some magic status.
Double checking that there's not anything in there that's police procedure.
Yeah, all right. You'll let me know if this. See, if I was in Mr. Cooksall's position and I wanted to take issue with, for instance, the chasing up of witnesses, etc., that's something that I might rely upon, that document, and cross-examine the informant in relation to that document. Not saying that there'd be any basis up to do so other than hypothetical, but it's there. All right. A rule that pages 176 to 183 be unredacted, disclosed. All right. Page 187 clearly relates to this matter, the investigation and prosecution and the availability and length of body-worn camera footage, so it's going to be disclosed, should never have been redacted in the first place. It's clearly within the orders. Page 188 falls, albeit rather more obliquely, into the same category. It should be disclosed. So order. Page 188 through to 190 relates to the prosecution of this matter. It falls within the order of Magistrate Lawrence and should be disclosed and not redacted. Page 191 and page 192, same position, that should be disclosed, not redacted. (193) again relates to the prosecution of the matter and awareness as to actions that are required in relation to the prosecution and obtaining of material. Falls within the orders of Magistrate Lawrence and should not be redacted, so I order that it be disclosed. (194 to 207) falls into that exact same category. And I order that it be disclosed. All right, 217 and 219. All right, Mr. Cooksall, if that gives you some comfort, there actually isn't anything there. There's literally just the continuation of the blue line. All right, so just simply to confirm for Mr. Cooksall that there's nothing there, I order that it be unredacted. All right. 217 to 219 relates to the investigation in relation to this matter and the obtaining of footage in relation to the circumstances surrounding the interview should never have been redacted in order that it be disclosed. All right. We now get to 220 to 228. Do you want to get instructions?
It's 220 to 237. It's really the same category.
Well, I think we'll break 220 to 228 is the first group, which VGSO will get instructions. I thought 229 related to a totally different person, but I might be wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. Seems. Well, do you want to check with the informant? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you want to have this matter related to you, Mr. Cooksalas. You want to...
I trust you, Your Honour.
Yeah, all right. So that'll stay redacted. All right. Then we have 230 to 256. That seems to me to be something that you'd be taking instructions on.
Still PI? Or
I suspect that there may or may not be. I'm not sure. Again, it surprises me that someone could read through all this material, decide that there's a PII claim in relation to one part of it, but not other parts. All right. 258 to 270 and 270 to 271, same position, isn't it? 258 to 270 and then 270 to 271. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same category of.
258 is
258 to 270 and 270 to 271, I think would be matters that I think it'd be remiss of me not to raise with the VGSO that they've got a potential PII claim and seek clarification. All right, 275 to 277. Yeah, 270 to 274. All right, you'll get instructions. Get back to me in relation to that. 275 to 277. I mean, this relates to disclosure, the obligations of disclosure. So that shouldn't be redacted. Discussion about disclosure. $275 to $277, I order be disclosed. Again, falling within Magistrate Lawrence's orders. It should have been the sort of matter that's disclosed even without the orders. All right, now 278.
Sure, I've got the note. 275 to disclose.
275 to 277. 275 to 277, and then I was...
Disclose, and then 278.
Now I was going to 278 and haven't got to that yet. Hang on. So 278... Let me just go to the... All right. Now... Okay. At the moment, the first half of 278 has been disclosed.
That's right.
All right. Now, the second half of 278 going on to 279 is a group email. I mean, there's no magic in this. I don't think that there's no PII claim. It's just a question of relevance.
That's the basis of this.
Yeah.
All of this
Group email that relates to a whole bunch of people in relation to their contest mentions.
Yes.
Right? No magic in that. Okay? And there's no reason for anyone other than those people to potentially have those. Right. Is Mr. Cooksall in those? Yes, he is. He's at page 281, line 14.
Yes.
All right. So in my view,
Fine.
there should be disclosure of that part of that email relating to Mr. Cooksall.
Seeing his name at line 14.
Group B, line 14,
yes.
page 281.
I think that is unredacted. Yes.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, so
Should have been. Oh, no, it is.
281.
No, 281, line 14 is. But what should be also unredacted is all the general information. Okay? Because otherwise, Mr. Cooksall quite rightly would think, what does this relate to? Clearly relates to me. What sort of document is it?
Okay, so page 279, the general information.
Yeah.
sorry, 278 to 279 is the same document.
Yeah, 278 to 270 to 278 to 281. Sorry, 278 to 282. Again, should be redacted to the extent that it relates generally or specifically to Mr. Cooksall.
Unredacted.
Unredacted, thank you. Thank you. All right. All it is just a general email about contest mentions, Mr. Cooksall. So, again, somewhat pointless redacting it in the first place because it just creates an impression to you that there might be something that's important or relevant, especially when your name was the only bit that was unredacted. Anyone looking at that wanted to know why your name was there would seek unredaction.
Thank you.
All right, 283, the bottom half is that again relates to the investigation and the prosecution. The provision of materials should not have been redacted, and I ordered that it be unredacted.
So it continues to
283, yep, 284, again, that shouldn't be, that also covers 284. I'm going to lose my voice with this. Yeah, hang on. 284, again, 284 through to 287. It's the same position. It's a group email, re-contest mentions, that where it's of specific or general relevance to Mr. Cooksall, it should be unredacted.
May I point something out, Your Honour? So there were emails that were disclosed and they showed communication with witnesses in relation to whom I was...
yeah, okay, but this isn't that. This isn't that. This is just literally a general... This is what the informants who have these matters need to do generally, etc. Okay? So, to the extent that it relates to a whole bunch of people other than you, it's of no relevance. To the extent that it relates to you, it's relevant because there are instructions as to what should be done. All right?
So 284 to 287.
284 to 287. Again, some common sense has to be applied by the VGSO. All right. Page 288. Who decided this should be redacted?
Partial lifting of it.
Was there? All right, maybe I missed. Maybe I'm wrong.
I've not looked at the...
Well, the
there
part
was
that's
a
redacted
partial-
seems to be the part that's absolutely clear. I mean, it's a request for a statement. It's part of the investigation. I really wonder if whoever was the person at VGSO looking at this had any idea as to what their obligations were at all.
Right, the data management unit provide the instructions to VGSO. That's who's
Oh, the
providing
data
me
management
the...
unit from VicPol.
Yes, that's who's providing me the instructions
Okay, through the VGSO.
through the VGSO. So there's another step
All
in
right,
fairness to them.
So my rage should go to the data management unit, maybe the VGSO.
Oh,
It's not aimed at you and it's not aimed at the informant. All right.
So 288 to 289, unredact, disclose.
All right. 290 again.
280.
288 to 289. 290. Same point. I think it's just extraordinary that that's been unredacted. Sorry, that's been redacted, and I order that it be unredacted, page 290.
That goes on to 291.
Well, no, the redaction in 290 is one section, which... Now my iPad's getting annoyed with it. So the top half, which is 290, should be unredacted. The part that goes from the bottom of 290 to 291, that also should be unredacted. The incident's meant to occur on the 19th of March 2019, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So this is an email, again. This email says this: in relation to the arrest of Mr. Cooksall, can I please get a statement from all of you in relation to the incident as soon as possible? And goes on to talk about, can your statements please detail, etc. So at what possible basis would there be to redact this as it astounds me when it's literally the process of obtaining statements in relation to witnesses who are going to be called to give evidence. Anyway, all right, page 292. All of it's redacted. Yep, and it's again related to the provision of the statements, when they were provided, what time, etc. I mean, some of this material might actually help the Crown. I mean, that's the ridiculous thing about redacting it. Page 293. It might not help them either. Again, it's also inconsistent, as counsel will no doubt note. The 293, we've got someone sending their statement that's not redacted, but the request for that statement is redacted. All right, so page 293, it's just a repeat, but it should be disclosed. Same basis, page 294, to the extent that it identifies who sent the email, should be disclosed, subject to personal details being removed. Okay, page 307 to 309, I don't think that that's of any relevance.
May I ask what it is about?
Seems that the footage was sent to the wrong prosecutor who said, I'm not the correct prosecutor, so it's of no relevance to anything. All right.
Your Honour, what footage was sent? The non-provision of footage is...
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I know. But Mr. Cooksall makes the point, it can demonstrate what footage was held at what time. As I understand it, there's been an issue in this case that Mr. Cooksall has sought footage and says that he hasn't been provided with the entirety of the footage.
Your Honour, it's said that the footage, it's inexplicable where it's gone.
Yeah, that's the VCAT footage. Yeah. Is there an issue in relation to body-worn camera footage?
Yes, Your Honour, not all people have provided footage, and there is muting and...
It's usually muting at the start, but that's okay. I've myself, in years gone by, thought that that was some sort of conspiracy, but turns out that it often doesn't. Audio is muted at the start. Anyway,
There is
I understand your point, okay? I understand your point.
So, Your Honour, it's footage that has been disclosed. There were 2 members with body-worn camera footage. It's just a mistake.
Yeah, I know that, but the point that's being made is this, isn't it? Mr. Cooksall says, rightly or wrongly, I think that there's body-worn camera footage that's missing, okay? Anything that reflects on the body-worn camera footage can have relevance. Let's say, I'm not saying this is the case, but let's say that there was an email from the informant to a superior officer earlier on in the proceedings, in the investigation, that, and I'm not saying this is the case, attaching footage. Wouldn't that be relevant to the question as to what that footage was? It would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, potentially it is. I mean, I've had this situation before where it turned out that there was different versions, various versions of statements, and the only way we found out was because they were being sent in an email and they'd never been disclosed. All right, I'm satisfied that pages 307 to 309 should be disclosed.
Your Honour,
You'll be able to see who that person is not in any way relevant at all. I'm not trying to protect anyone other than it's just their personal details of no relevance whatsoever.
Your Honour, may I? There is authority of the Court of Appeal of the state that any government agency, because the Crown is an indivisible entity as a prosecutor, any part of government that gets affiliated with an investigation becomes
Investigating. They've been sent it by error.
VLSB.
It is outside of...
Is it the Legal Services Board?
No, it's not. You don't need to worry. All right? I think you'll have to trust me in relation to this, Mr. Cooksall. I don't think it'll be obvious from what's released to you what it relates to and where it ended up going and that it was an accident, unless someone's dead. Is anyone dead? Because it was accidentally released to the prosecutors at the coroner's court.
Okay, no, that's
No,
fine.
all right. Again, I understand your position because you don't know
That's right.
you're boxing against shadows and things can look far worse. And I have, not personally, but as defence counsel, been in your position and argued for days for the release of material, and then once I got the material, I wished I'd never had.
That'll is
All right. So page 311.
the 307 to 310,
307 to 310, yep,
release.
with personal details to be redacted. 311. Relates to the compiling of the brief and when it was compiled. That should be that should be disclosed.
311 to be disclosed.
Yeah, 311, 312. Again, this council is aware. The informant being on leave can be a highly relevant thing. It's been my experience that I have sought to cross-examine people about why things weren't done over certain time frames, only to discover that the person was in fact on leave and there was a perfect explanation for why it wasn't done. So it's clearly relevant, and again, it might help the prosecution if there's an issue taken that, well, you know, this wasn't done, why wasn't it done, could have been done, etc. All right, 314 to 320, do you want to get instructions in relation to that? Yeah, all right. $333. All right. 333 to 335 relates to the BWC footage and the provision of it to the prosecution should be disclosed. Falls within the orders of Magistrate Lawrence with no proper basis for redaction. It's also true in relation to 336 to 338. 339 to 342 again is group email in relation to contest mentions should be disclosed again, but not, there should be no disclosure in relation to other people that were the sub or cases, not Mr. Cooksall's, that were sub.
339 too?
339 to 342. That, all right. $343. Yeah. Do you want to turn your mind to that?
$343,
343.
please.
No, I haven't made a ruling yet. I'm asking the council as to what, if any, submission there's going to be in relation to it.
Might just take that on notice, Your Honour.
Yeah, all right. You'll get instructions in relation to that. All right. 345's in the same category. $347 to $357. I would imagine you'd be seeking instructions in relation to that. Is that right? Yeah. $361 seems to relate to the brief and disclosure brief, etc. So I think it's well within the purview of the orders. It shouldn't have been redacted. So order that it be disclosed. All right. 362 was that material that was provided in error. I've already ruled in relation to that. So I order that it be disclosed subject to the appropriate redaction as to personal details.
362 and 363.
362. $363 is a different one. Oh, hang on, let me check. Might have missed that. 362 and 363, they're the same. They're the same ruling.
362 and 363 released, subject to redaction of personal information.
Yep. 377 to 379.
Sorry, 365, Your Honour, is 366 as well. 367. 8.
Can I just inquire, does that relate to a witness? Yeah, but a witness. Yeah, all right. Well, then it should be. It should be unredacted.
Sorry, Your Honour.
Should be disclosed.
Including the dates of...
Yeah, including the dates.
So 365.
365 to 366.
And then 6, 7 and 8 are different.
Yeah, they should be disclosed as well. Relates to a witness, doesn't it?
Yes, Your Honour.
Yeah, all right, that should be disclosed. Three 371's all personal details, isn't it?
Unrelated people.
Unrelated people, no, that's fine. All right, so 377 to 379 I've got. Should be released. Relates to obtaining of witnesses for the hearing. I mean, again, it's not hard to imagine how these documents take on great relevance in a case. Was someone subpoenaed? When was it sought that they attend, etc.? Are they truly unavailable? 380. 380 to 381, that should also be released. Relates to a witness in relation to their giving evidence. Yeah. 380 to 381. I say that because I've cross-examined witnesses in relation to emails that they've sent about their giving of evidence and whether they're going to be required to give evidence and etc.
Does it go until 383?
382, that seems to be just irrelevant. So that redaction can remain.
Which part, Your Honour?
You can have the email, the email caution. That's,
So 382,
yeah, 382 doesn't relate to anything of any relevance and just has personal information that's of no relevance.
So the entire
Yep.
382 to remain.
Yep. 383.
May I ask what 382 is about?
I've just told you, totally irrelevant personal information. 383. That should be released. .384 should be released. 385. Why should that? What?
Notes.
What proper basis is for that there for that to be redacted?
One moment, I had thought they were not the same.
This matter relates to the 19th of March, doesn't it?
Yes, Your Honour.
The matter that's been unredacted has been the 14th of March, and the bit that's been redacted is the 19th of March.
They're not the accused being arrested. That's why I'm just getting instructions on what it relates to.
Well, it's clearly related to the incident, so I'm ordering that it be disclosed. Might have been on stronger ground in relation to the matter that actually wasn't that day, but that's not been redacted, and the bit that has been redacted relates to the... As I understand it, the allegation was that Mr... I don't know, allegation, maybe it's fact.
I arrested.
Yeah. So any reference to a PSO being arrested on the 19th of March is clearly relevant. All right. Coming to the tail end before we get to the matters from which there needs to be instructions. 397. That's, interactions with witnesses as to their availability. It falls within the
397, Your Honour. I read this differently. It's a supervisory. It's a supervisor.
Relates to the conduct of the investigation. This is not the case here, but imagine if you had a situation where you had a supervisor saying, you're not doing the job properly, you haven't investigated it properly, why haven't you followed up on so-and-so? Be highly relevant. Again, it falls well within the scope of the orders of Magistrate Lawrence, shouldn't be redacted. That's 397 through to 403. .407 to 408. Let me see. Well, 407 to 408 is the good old redact the email footer. Yeah, so that's already been covered. All right, 415 to 460.
So it's only email footers, 407 to 408?
407 to 408, that's all that is.
Thank you.
But I'm ordering that it be unredacted so that you can see that that's all that is.
Thank you.
And my note is redaction was justified. Let me see.
Sorry, 411.
It's 411 subject to redaction.
411, 412.
Oh yeah. Yes.
It might have been lifted.
411. That's the email footers nonsense.
Okay, thank you.
As is 414. 415. Yeah. That's totally irrelevant. It's just of no relevance whatsoever. Personal.
Which one, Your Honour?
415 to 416.
It's about a different subject.
Not got anything to do with you or your case.
Thank you.
420 I've covered. 444 to 447. You're going to get instructions in relation to that?
Sorry, Your
Your
Honour,
Honour, I'm
you've
falling behind. So 415 to 416 is irrelevant.
No, 415 to 416. Yeah, it's irrelevant. Yeah, you're right. Redaction is justified. 420 is the email footer. We've already dealt with that. 444 to 447. Sorry. You're getting instructions in relation to that?
I'll see.
Sorry, what, did we say anything about 417 and 418?
Hang on. Wait a second. Just 417 to 418. Right. 417 to 418. All right, let me check. Fair enough. What do you say about that?
It's tricky because it might relate to 443. It reverts back to that advice.
So that's one that you'll get some instructions on.
But 417, 418 is on the basis of relevance.
Well, I don't think,
Is it
Mr.
smart?
Cooksall, you can, whoever's done this has just used relevance in a very, let's just say, broad brush way. But some of these matters might be subject to a PII claim. All right, I've got to 444 to 447. You're going to get instructions in relation to that. Yep.
And 420, what has been released?
420, yep, that's the email footer.
And then 44.
448 to 4450. Let me just go to that.
443, what was the instructions?
443.
That's the claim already made.
Yeah, that's the claim. Yep.
LPP.
There's going to be instructions in relation to that.
There's already been that claim, Your Honour.
Oh, yeah, that's subject to the PI claim in relation
So
to...
I'll make submissions about that.
Sorry, 443 is a LPP, Your Honour.
That's an LPP. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll get to that. Hang on, let's just get through the simple things. All right.
4442,
447.
instructions.
Yep. 448 to 4450. Again, that shouldn't be redacted, relates to obtaining the transcript of the record of interview.
44824,
448 to 450 should be disclosed. Okay, 473 to 476, footer, 479, footer, 482 to 483, footer, 485, footer, 486, footer, 487, footer, 488, footer, 489, footer, 490 to 501. And all relates to obtaining of witnesses, I believe.
490 to 501.
Yep. And I shouldn't
Sorry,
be restricted.
Your Honour, I just missed that.
490 to 501.
490 to 501.
Falls within the orders of Magistrate Lawrence. There's no proper reason to reject it. Don't know to what extent it'll be of any use to anyone, but that's the same with 503 and 504 to 506.
50.
4 to 506. All right.
503 to 506 release.
Yeah, 503 to 506. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. It's now 12:55, which is pretty good timing.
Your Honour, there's 508 as well.
Right, let me have a look. The 508's a footer, I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
Thank you.
continues to waste all our time. All right, so that's what we're going to do. I've got a part heard matter that's listed at 2 o'clock. Probably take about 15 minutes to half an hour. So that gives a little bit of extra time. So we'll come back, I think, in relation to this matter for the parties, not before 2:15, but you might have until 2:30, but just be around by 2:15. Hopefully that will allow some time to get instructions. Is that going to give you enough time to get instructions?
Start working through them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping your instructor has already tried to get in touch with whoever's responsible. Yeah. All right, so we'll return. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so I won't ever be in this court. So, look, what I might do, just out of an abundance of caution in terms of time, recognising that instructions need to be obtained, is we'll return in relation to this matter at 2:30. All right, thank you.
Please.
Only one is the extracted advice in 417, which is a legal privilege claim.
Extracted advice 417. That's the only PII claim.
The legal professional privilege claim.
No, that's it. All right, but there's no other PII claims.
No other PII claims. I confirm I've obtained written and phone instructions confirming that there are no claims.
Okay.
And
Well, let's go
just
to
if I can, at 220 to 256, there's a different suspect. I'll just have to work out the pages.
220.
56. I'm going to have to go through the pages as to there is a different suspect in relation to some of it.
Hence one.
Honour's already ruled on that.
I might be misunderstanding something, but
230 to 256 it was.
well, I'm familiar with the fact that there's PII claim, obviously, in relation to 158 to 160. We haven't, given that there isn't going to be further PII claims, despite the fact that I've raised it and you've raised it with your instructors. Then I have to then go back to matters that are redacted on the basis that they're said to not be relevant.
Right, and so
Now, yeah, go on, sorry. So the first was, as my recollection,
so
35 to 36, wasn't it?
yes, so to hopefully be helpful, there's no issue with that being provided, subject
All right,
to...
so hang on. Sorry. Thank you, though, but let me just... Trouble when one uses everything electronically. $35 to $36. Oh, yep. All right. That is now going to be disclosed by agreement. Subject. Okay.
Sorry, Your Honour, I'm just opening up the document so I can also keep up.
Yeah, I can wait.
Okay, so starting from 40.
35 to 36.
35 to 56.
36. 35 to 36.
Yep, I'm there.
Yep. Okay. So that will now be disclosed,
Subject to the personal information.
being redacted. Okay.
If I can make that clear, any concessions are subject to personal information being redacted.
Yeah, well, personal information is dates of birth, phone numbers, the like. It's not names. It's not VP numbers either. All right. Is there an effort to maintain a suggestion that a VP number or V number is somehow personal information in relation to these matters?
I'll check, Your Honour, and get back to you. I don't believe so, but I will check.
In many cases where the only way I could work out who made what entry is with the VP.
The VP number, yes.
So, all right.
41.
To 44, you maintain the objection on the basis that it's of no relevance whatsoever.
No claims are to be made. It's a relevance argument only. It's a relevance argument only.
Yeah, all right. So the point is that when I go back to it, the order was made was that it was in relation to this matter. Yeah, okay. Mr. Cooksall, you wanted to address me in relation to this.
Yes, Your Honour.
What's the point? What's the point of, for instance, knowing your involvements with Victoria Police in relation to this matter? Sorry, rephrase it. Right? Your other involvements with Victoria Police.
So, Your Honour, to make up for the morning, I've brought copies of authorities for...
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. That's lovely. Appreciate that. But the point is, don't take me to the authorities. Focus on what I'm asking you.
Sure.
How is it said to be relevant that you have been spoken to by the police on other occasions? This is not a process of simply it's not a freedom of information claim about everything you can possibly think of in relation to you, right?
Yep.
So it has to have some bearing in relation to the matter with which we're dealing,
Sure.
right?
So,
How's it relevant?
So, Your Honour, relevance is defined in Section 55.
Now, I know how relevance is defined. You tell me how it is relevant. What basis you are going to use or potentially use this information, all right?
So, one of the core allegations that I have in this proceeding is that Victoria Police have been particularly targeting me, and that there has been an abuse of the court's process for a couple of reasons. One, because the PSO, PSO Benning had in fact seriously assaulted me to the point of endangering my life on the day.
Yep.
And the notes of the Sergeant Watson, had made reference to the fact that if I was...
Yeah, hang on, drifting. Okay, now come back, because what I'm asking you is not generally, I'm asking you about your other involvements with Victoria Police. That's what I want you to address in relation
It's to show
to
that Victoria Police has a very strong propensity to taking adverse action toward me, and there is a general animosity that's harbored by a number of members because I have previously taken strong steps against them. I've criticized them publicly. I have been responsible for publications against them. And then in one of the matters, Your Honor, the informant was speaking with my former partner to be the sole point of reception of privileged documents to then distribute it to all other informants.
Yeah, okay. But again, we're just drifting because it's this document we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right? There might be other documents that fall within the scope of what you're saying. So, as I understand it, you're saying this, that because you've had numerous involvements with Victoria Police, you're going to rely upon the fact of those numerous involvements in order to demonstrate that there is a conspiracy against you.
Absolutely.
Of some sort.
I'm saying that the only reason why this proceeding is still on is because of the conspiracy, because...
Sticking with this document, all right?
No, this
with...
proceeding, the only reason why this proceeding is
No, I'm sticking with this document. All
So
right?
in this proceeding, I'm going to seek a permanent stay.
Understand that.
Or...
Read your email, understand. At the moment, I'm going back and focusing on this issue.
But, Your Honour, the authorities are clear that the court is not best positioned to make the determination about how I can possibly use this because the court will not have all the factual knowledge. I may be able to identify a third person who was mentioned in the email because that third person comes up.
Not an email. This is, look at the document. Look at the document in front of you. Look at what it is. All right?
Is this a police... So, Your Honour, one of the allegations...
This is your contacts, right? This is your involvement. I mean, this I'm not I don't think revealing anything that's particularly sensitive.
Yeah, this is my
all right? So that every time when a person is involved with police as a victim or otherwise, those involvements are recorded, okay? And as I understand, your argument is this. You want to be able to refer to those previous involvements to demonstrate that there is malicious prosecution because of these other involvements.
Tendency. It establishes tendency. It's
the only tendency it might establish is you, but anyway. That's...
Your Honour, there's been at least 5 matters in which charges have been withdrawn after they were dragged.
It's a dangerous path to take, but anyway.
And Your Honour, the other point is that in one of the...
Constantly in trouble with the police, so therefore there's a conspiracy and the court should take it into account.
Your Honour, they're all statutory offences. I've never been targeted. There's one matter in which it is alleged that I assisted a corporate entity.
Hang on, we're drifting again. All right, conspiracy. Okay.
Your Honour, I don't have trouble with the law. I went to some of the best universities and business schools.
All right, I don't need a speech about how wonderful you are, Mr. Cooksall. What I need you to do is address me in relation to it. I understand your point. Your point is this, or at least I think I understand it. Your point is that if there is a suggestion that there's some malice towards you, that's relevant in relation to A, how what occurred happened,
yes.
B, the investigation, And I'm assuming you're suggesting also that there's been some impropriety in the investigation.
Absolutely.
All right.
And
Okay.
the other part, Your Honour, is that police records have been corrupted. There is evidence of that in this proceeding. So on the day, because they wanted to destroy the evidence of the PSO choking me to, near death state, the CCTV records were destroyed, and then
This isn't. I understand.
No, Your
I'm
Honour, the
wanting
police
to-
station entries
Yep.
were modified so they could match the doctored CCTV footage, but the problem was
All
they
right.
could not.
Grab a seat. Counsel for VGSO.
Your
If he
Honours,
wants
the-
to run this argument, then that's on Mr. Cooksall. I mean, if he wants to leave before a court, I have had all this trouble with the police, and I've been in trouble for this and trouble for that and all the rest. I mean, that's on him. All right, I'm going to release that material. That's going to be pages 41 to 46. Okay. All right. That's going to be unredacted. That doesn't have any reference, does it, to personal information in relation to people? No. No. All right. Good. There you go, Mr. Cooksall.
Thank you, Your Honour.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. All right.
E4 has some matters in.
Sorry.
Page 44 has some matters in a pink highlight that relate to other people.
Yeah, that should go.
One moment, Your Honour, I just want to make sure that
I haven't missed anything.
names that I haven't. No, that's fine. 220 to 236.
So I have 220 to 228 and
220 to 2. Oh, yes. Thank you, Mr. Cooksall. What's the position in relation to 220 to 228?
As long as email addresses, telephone numbers, and persons who are not related to this investigation can be redacted.
Okay.
Have it.
so it's released.
Yep.
And
Subject to redactions of personal information.
not names though?
That includes names, Your Honour. These people have nothing to do with this matter.
Yeah. All right. Not the informant, obviously.
Not the informant, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Again, Your Honour.
The document. Get the document. Be in a position to be able to make why it's so desperate to have a name. For instance, if you have something from the police media unit, why is it so desperate for you to know which person from the police
Because,
media?
Your Honour, they've been speaking with Current Affair. There have been at least 5 publications. In this proceeding, there have been. I applied for a suppression order in this proceeding.
Yeah, I understand that, but I still don't. Anyway, I'm not inviting you to make an argument to me now about it. What I'm saying is get the material and then see if you want to take that issue further, you can take that issue further and you can argue it when you know what the document relates to.
Thank you.
Right. 2:30 to...
Your Honour, may I just make a note about this?
Yeah. All right, 2:30 to 2:56.
Same class of document.
Right, so there's not a objection maintained.
Right. Subject to that was that this is that class of document where the names ought to be redacted to people up, not witnesses, not at VCAT.
Yep. It's
There's
the issue. It's the issue in relation to current or previous informant and their knowledge. Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
This is all part of the conspiracy defence. I must say I understand your argument, and on that basis, I think it barely is relevant, but it's relevant to the person who's responsible in relation to the charges. It's
So,
not.
Your Honour, may I also say that there is a provision of Victoria Police Act which requires officers that witness improper conduct to make...
Might be, go and make a complaint to IBAC. That's my ruling in relation to it. It's not an inquiry. It's not a Royal Commission, okay? This relates to the charges. It is not an opportunity to chase every rabbit down every burrow in relation to every possible issue. Yeah, 220 to 256. And that goes all the way to 270, doesn't it?
271, I think.
Yep.
There's blank pages within there that have already been released, but
Yep.
So 274, Your Honour.
Yep.
next is
So
3.
220 to 274 has been released.
Yep. Again, subject to
No, but names, which pages are we?
All of them.
all identifying information where the person is not a witness or investigating officer or the informant.
220 to 274 release except for personal.
313
313.
to 320.
Hang on. Because there was one particular passage that I was very concerned about, whether there be a PII claim.
Your Honour, all I can say is that I have checked prior to today, again today.
Raised it.
It's in writing. They're not asking, they are not seeking PII.
Yeah, all right.
Which one? Which page are we on, Your Honour?
I can look at it again, Your Honour. Happy to look at it again.
Just make see if I made a note of the specific. Just bear with me for a moment. I just want to check my notes. Yeah. Go to 154, please.
That's been ordered released.
Well, I'm not functus officio. I've indicated that that's my position, but I've not formally ruled. Counsel for the VGSO.
Yes, so 154.
Read 154. How is that not a subject to a PII claim? John, the matter stood down. I feel that I am not complying with my obligations if I simply allow that to proceed.
Yes,
You're telling me, and I accept, you've raised it.
I will.
All I can do is on transcript, well, not that we have a transcript, but on tape, indicate that I've got those issues, raise the possibility of PII. You can seek those very specific instructions in relation to those pages, and if you don't get those instructions well, then you'll...
Yes, Your Honour.
So, all right.
Your Honour, may I interject for a minute?
No, so, all right.
Your Honour, may I interject for a minute?
No, you can't for a moment, Mr. Cooksall. All right, so 154 to 156, it might be. In relation to 154 and 156, I've put in abeyance the disclosure in relation to that. Let's keep going in relation to... Where were we up to? We're up to
313 to 320.
Sorry, 3... Where are we?
313 to 320.
313 to 320.
So, can I clarify something, Your Honour?
Not in relation to 154 to 156. All right? At the moment. You're going to have an opportunity at a later time in relation to that. Let's just keep working through this. 314 to 320. What's the position?
There's no objection maintained.
Okay, no objection.
Subject to names
Yep.
and email addresses and personal details.
Yep.
Not witnesses or investigators.
Yep. And that then leads us to 417 to 418.
No, there's 343 and 345,
Okay, thanks.
and then 347 to 357,
343 to 345.
347 to 357.
343 and 345 can be disclosed.
Yep. 347 to 357.
343 to 345 is released.
Yep. 347 to 357.
No claim taken.
No claim taken. Yep.
Subject to names.
Yep.
So is it still, Your Honour, are the names in there related to the proceeding at all?
The recipients and persons that are CC'd in are, and they will, the understanding is that the names of anyone related to the proceeding. Everyone's on notice, Mr. Cooksall's position is that this, that he was the subject to an assault, as I understand it.
Yes, Your Honour.
And that effectively that there's been a form of cover-up slash, what's the word I'm looking for, Mr.
Malicious
Cooksall?
prosecution.
However you want to suggest it, malicious prosecution against him. So anything that bears upon the attitude of an informant in relation to the matter, I think may be relevant. But it's the fact of being imparted with that information that's relevant, not that it's come from this person or that person, etc.
Yes.
All right, so that's 347 to 357, and that's
So,
the
Your
under.
Honour, the police officer names will not be redacted, right?
Not the people that have been involved in this investigation or in relation to you.
But there were, Your Honour, there were like 12 police officers that were brought in to the VCAT building that day, on the 19th of March.
Yeah, again, I don't think these are any of those people.
But can you confirm that their names will not be redacted? Anyone who was at the VCAT building on the
Yeah, I think
or
that's right.
14th of March?
I think that's right. I mean, if it's a potential witness and there's a
Potential
potential
witnesses.
witness talking with, say, another potential witness about what a horrible person Mr. Cooksall is, then it's clearly potentially
Yes,
relevant.
understand, Your
Because
Honour.
he might cross-examine them to say, you're making this up or etc. because you've been told that I'm a terrible person.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
14th and 19th of March.
Yeah. All right.
You're in a 417.
To 418.
417 to
I'll
418.
go through that, please.
Yeah, I don't think it has any relevance to anything.
Sorry, Your Honour, may I get some idea what it's about?
Seems to relate completely to matters in relation to. I can't even.
Is it still about me?
No, it's not about you, Mr. Cooksall, at all. All right, I'm ruling that is to remain redacted.
417, 418 out. And then
So it's not about the proceeding?
It has no relevance to the proceeding at all.
The orders for Your Honour, any notes?
No, I'm not. I'm not releasing it. That's my ruling. All right.
uh, 444 to 447. Again, no issue with it being disclosed, save for some personal information and names, noting that some of these people are nothing to do with this investigation. They're not relevant in
Yep.
any event,
Yep.
administrative in detail. But
Yep. All right. Same ruling.
So released?
Yep. Release subject to irrelevant names to be redacted. All right. I mean, it's really almost like information reports. Person has disclosed that the accused is this sort of person otherwise has disclosed the accused did this other thing, etc. All right. That they're, whatever.
So, Your Honour, but if they are someone related to me, then their name should be disclosed.
No, they shouldn't. In fact, if there's someone related to you, there's absolutely strong argument that they shouldn't be released.
Your Honour,
that there's a public interest immunity.
If a duty of confidence is being breached...
No duty of confidence. What, to you?
Yeah, I own a law
You by who?
So, Your Honour, my employees, I own a law firm, the employees...
No, well, all right. I'm against you. I just think I think you're barking up the wrong tree in relation to it. And B, it wouldn't override the public interest in maintaining the confidence of people who may, unless it related to this incident, and it doesn't relate to this incident, as I understand it. All right. So I'm going to set a timetable, Mr. Cooksall. That is going to be for any that's going to be the resolution of the PII. Resolution of LPP. Stay application.
Contempt of court.
Well, I think that's a hopeless application, but you can raise it on the 31st of July. I might be wrong. Might have great merit without me realising. So that'll be.
No, I'm charged with not following the instructions of VSO, there are court orders that have been.
Which court orders are you talking about?
So on the 11th of August, 21, His Honour Magistrate Balin had made orders requiring full disclosure of all relevant evidence. A number of the items on that list would, pursuant to the Criminal Procedure Act, Section 41.
Doesn't apply, does it?
Yeah, they apply, Your Honour.
Section 41 apply?
Yes. And
When's the
Section 42
transitional
applies.
provisions?
Section 42 applies.
When does the transitional provisions apply, Mr. Cookson?
Okay, Section 42 applies in that sense. And then
Hang on. Does it?
ongoing duty of disclosure and the common law obligations are caught up by Section 42 and Section 41.
Yeah, there's common law. The common law applies, right?
Section
So
42
you
applies.
raised an issue, okay, in relation to Section 41A, which is the disclosure certificate. You recall that?
That was in the email, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm saying
That doesn't apply though, does it?
No, not to 11th of August 21 orders, but I'm saying
No, it doesn't apply at all.
Section 42 and
No,
Section...
no. Section 41, capital A, does not apply at all, does it? Because as I understood it, that was part of your argument. They hadn't provided a disclosure certificate.
So this proceeding has...
Wasn't it part of your argument that they haven't provided a disclosure certificate?
Yes, it was part of my argument.
Doesn't apply, does it? Certificate.
Yes, it was part of my argument.
Doesn't apply, does it? The transitional provision is set out in Section 458 of the Criminal Procedure Act. The amendments made to this Act by Division 1 of Part 2 of the Criminal Procedure Disclosure and Other Matters Act 22, Criminal Procedure Disclosure, apply to a criminal proceeding commenced on or after the commencement of that division. These proceedings commenced in 2019.
Yeah, but I wasn't referring to that particular argument.
Yeah, okay. But
Right now.
yeah, but Section 41, capital A, because that, as I understood, was part of your argument. But that doesn't apply.
So
Do you agree or not?
via email, Your Honour, what I had raised was that their level of compliance is completely incompatible.
Yeah, okay. All right. So
the
do you want to
current-
answer my question? Do you agree or not that Section 41, capital A, in relation to the disclosure certificate, does not apply to these proceedings?
They don't apply in a statutory sense, but I think
All right,
they should
yeah,
guide
okay.
the courts.
All right. So they don't. So Section 41A doesn't apply. All right. So you want to invite me to institute proceedings for contempt. Okay, understand that.
Section
Because of
42?
non-disclosure. Because of non-disclosure.
Because of ongoing non-disclosure.
Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. And as I understand it, part of Mr. Cooksall's argument, Mr. Cooksall, correct me if I'm wrong in this, is that there was statements referred to in the hand-up brief.
That's right.
Those statements have not been provided to Mr. Cooksall. Mr. Cooksall makes the point that the references to those statements in the hand-up brief include what the people are going to say. And as I understand
Witness
it...
summons have been served, Your Honour.
Sorry?
So, Your Honour, on the 5th of June, when I had brought the matter up before the court,
Hang on, I know you're going to take us off. Let me just indicate what the position is, all right, so the Crown knows. As I understand it, Mr. Cooksall's position is going to be this. He's going to seek a stay. I'm not sure whether it's a permanent stay or a conditional stay, on the basis that those documents which he says exist have not been provided. All right? Might be other issues, Mr. Cooksall, but I'm correct in that, yes?
yes, so...
Yep, all right,
in
good.
the
Hang on.
Documents...
That's all right. Now, that's okay. Now, in relation to that, I am going to expect evidence. The evidence can be by affidavit as to whether I've been told from the bar table those documents don't exist, but I want an affidavit in relation to inquiries have been made, etc., whether the documents exist or they don't exist.
There's a section 30 hand-up brief.
These are...
that's the one.
Yep,
The-
they are. All right, you'll
So
be
it's
able...
the affidavit of...
Yeah, all right, Mr. Cooksall. You're not having a discussion backwards and forwards while I'm on the bench, thanks. All right. So,
May I add one other relevant matter?
well, hang on. I'm trying to set a timetable, okay?
It's relevant to what Your Honour was talking about. So in the additional material that was discovered,
Yeah.
there was correspondence in relation to witness summons that were issued to people who had given statements but who the court was advised have not in fact given statements. There were witness summons issued to Jerry Cronin
Yeah.
and to his colleague. Now, these people were in charge of the VCAT CCTV footage. Jerry Cronin was the facilities manager, and he was the person who had authorized the copying of the CCTV footage data. And then his statement was not discovered, and in May 2022, Mr. Mioch instead affirmed a statutory declaration stating that people that were initially involved in the collection of VCAT CCTV evidence are no longer there, and he has been informed by someone that part of the altercation may have taken place in a...
See what I'm doing with my hand? Because at the moment what you're doing is this.
I'm saying
There's a highway that goes from this point to what you want to tell me. What you want to do is take me on the long, lengthy, down the country road, kind of down the country lane way. So just bring it back. What's the point of what you're
The
telling me?
point
What
is
is
that
it?
they're trying to hide evidence.
All right. So that's why you want the stay slash contempt, correct?
That's exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. There we go. All
Thank
right.
you. It's perversion of the course of justice.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And you want a bail? My bail, could I?
Oh, we run out of time for that. I mean, that'll have to be dealt with on the. This court sits till 4.
I have a dying relative, Your Honour, and
Well, it's so, Mr. Cooksall, you're as aware of the time as anyone. I mean, I've had to keep pulling you up in terms of you're going into great detail and wanting to talk about matters. We've simply run out of time. So we're going to deal with the matter. We're going to deal with all of these matters back on the, what was the date again? The 31st of July. Yeah, all right. Okay. So we're going to set a timetable. So
Just, Your Honour, just so that I'm clear and can make sure it's clear to the informant, there's a list of people in the
grab a seat, Mr. Cooksall.
in the Form 30, and the informant's to provide an affidavit as to attempts made in terms of obtaining statements, provide any statements that are obtained prior to the next date.
Yep.
And there's
Hang on.
That's, I just,
Yeah, all right. So, wait a second. All right. So, the matter, all right. It's going to get adjourned. Yeah, 10. Adjourned date will be the 31st of July 2023, 10 a.m. Part A, yes. All right. Wait a second.
I'd like to be heard when the court is
On what?
in relation to the list of documents that has not been discovered.
Yeah, that's okay. At the moment, I'm trying to just work through everything that needs to be done, including the provision of the material to you, Mr. Cooksall. Okay, so the special mention hearing. I don't know why it does this. All right, I'll make an OTH order. Okay. 1. All material ordered to be released in unredacted form to be provided to the accused subject to redaction. What's the section that relates to personal?
186 of the CPA.
Right, under 186 CPA by the, obviously should also go to the court so that we're all dealing with the same. How quickly could that be done?
Got a quick
Or not
instruction by the end of next week, preferably.
Yeah. So let's make that.
7th of July?
All right, end of next week would be the 7th. So by the 10th of July, that gives plenty of time before the 31st of July. By the 10th July 2023. 2. The prosecution to determine whether there shall be PII claim in relation to pages 154, 156, 156 of the disclosure material.
So, can I say one thing about that?
I'm writing this out, so unless it's in relation to the order that I'm making,
Yes.
all right, I'm going to give you 1 minute. Tell me, what do you need?
Since Your Honour has invited this application, I think it may not be fair if Your Honour heard the application as well, because Your Honour would obviously be inclined to think that it is.
I'm not inclined to think in any way. At the moment, I'm raising it as a possibility. Simply haven't made any determination in
But
relation to it.
they had initially advised that they were not interested in raising the PII, and she had sought written instructions about that. But then
All right. If it's an application for me to recuse myself,
only
you
in
can make.
relation to that particular matter.
Well, you might lose me generally, Mr. Cooksall. I don't know if you want to lose me, but anyway,
Okay.
that's a matter for you. I generally have a pretty strong defence bent, but anyway.
No, I appreciate that, Your Honour, but
All right, so you can make that. You can think about that application if you want to. You can make that application on the 31st of May, 31st of July. So I'm not going to go back in time. What did I say? July or June? July. The prosecution to determine whether there shall be a PIA claim in relation to pages 154 to 156 of the.